The 2026 Grammys red carpet was a full-on fashion roller coaster, from museum-worthy gowns to dresses that honestly belong in a horror costume storage. In this video, we're breaking down the 5 worst dresses of the night, the looks that ended up on multiple worst dressed lists and had the internet absolutely divided. As always, this is all fun and fashion talk only. We're judging outfits, not talent or personality. Kicking things off at number 5, FKA Twigs showed up in a look that felt like a dark fairy tale that got lost in the woods. The dress was shredded, layered, super textured, and she even carried props and a bouquet, which made the whole outfit feel more like a theater costume than a red carpet moment. The idea was clearly artistic, avant-garde, and dramatic, but the execution? Pure chaos. The soft, ethereal fabrics clashed completely with the heavy, hard accessories and props. Instead of looking conceptual and high fashion, it looked disjointed and confusing, like 3 different ideas fighting for attention in one outfit. She definitely gets points for creativity. This was not a boring dress. But on a night where so many stars nailed that perfect balance between glamour and drama, Twigs's look leaned a bit too far into confusing stage costume instead of a polished Grammys fashion statement. But the real issue was the choice of fabric. The material looked thin, cheap, and wrinkled, prompting many fashion commentators to compare it to a plastic trash bag fluttering in the wind. In the 4th spot is influencer Monet McMichael, whose dress sparked a wave of negative reactions. At first glance, it was a long, form-fitting gown in a brownish copper shade, rather than a glamorous evening gown made for the Grammys red carpet. The construction of the top half only added to the problems. The bust area was poorly structured, creating the impression of sloppy tailoring and an unflattering fit. While the color itself wasn't a complete disaster, critics agreed that a richer, deeper copper tone in a higher quality fabric, paired with a more considered cut, could have looked dramatically more elegant. As it is, the overall look left viewers underwhelmed and secured Monet a firm place on several worst-dressed lists of the night. In 3rd place, Chapel Roan, and nobody expected her to play it safe. She arrived in a dramatic brick-red draped gown with a slight sheerness that, at first glance, actually looked really cool. Bold color, theatrical presence, and a strong silhouette that suited her persona. But then came the reveal. She removed the outer layer and exposed the fact that the top of the dress was literally held up by nipple clamps. That one detail flipped the look from edgy high fashion into something that felt more like a fetish performance piece than a Grammys red carpet gown. The naked dress trend has been around for years, but this pushed it past sexy and into straight-up uncomfortable. While other stars managed to blend sheer fabrics with elegance, Chapel went all in on shock value. Did it get attention? Absolutely. Did it land her on multiple worst-dressed lists? Also, absolutely. Taking the number 2 spot is Addison Rae, who clearly wanted to prove that a TikTok star can dominate the red carpet, but this dress did her 0 favors. She wore a white dress with an extremely deep neckline and a sculptural structured skirt that made people genuinely ask, is this on backwards? The hemline was short in the back and almost floor length in the front, like a reversed high-low dress. The stiff, wide shape of the skirt made it look more like a piece of furniture than fashion. Critics jokingly compared it to a side table, something you'd rest a drink on rather than wear to the Grammys. To be fair, she gets credit for taking a risk and not just showing up in a safe, generic gown. But the dress didn't follow her body, didn't flatter her figure, and ended up wearing her instead of the other way around. When people are more focused on, what is that dress doing? Then, wow, she looks amazing. You know it's a red carpet miss. And at number 1, the dress everyone was talking about. Heidi Klum walked the carpet in a nude latex gown that was literally molded to her body, down to sculpted anatomical details. It looked like a plastic cast of her torso turned into a dress, creating a bizarre second skin effect. Multiple outlets immediately ranked her among the worst dressed of the night, describing the look as a weird art installation, a Halloween costume gone wrong, or a store mannequin brought to life. The glossy latex under the red carpet flashes gave off a plasticky, cheap shine instead of luxury. On top of that, The stiffness of the material made it look like she could barely walk. Every step seemed like a struggle. The concept of fashion as sculpture can be brilliant, but here, the line between high fashion and pure spectacle was completely erased. Instead of a sexy, futuristic gown, it looked like something that belonged in a surreal photo shoot, not an actual event. That's why this creation very deservingly tops, or rather bottoms, almost every worst-dressed list from the 2026 Grammys. So that's our countdown of the 5 worst dresses at the 2026 Grammy Awards. FKA Twigs, Ari Lennox, Chappell Roan, Addison Rae, and Heidi Klum. 5 big ideas that crashed in execution, whether through messy concepts, awkward silhouettes, or going all in on shock without enough style to balance it out.